Hi, in this video we're going to talk about how you can control the various program windows you'll be creating in Windows. Each program window in Windows has a title bar at the top, and this is very handy for moving the program window around the desktop and moving it to different locations. Also, on the right side, there are sizing buttons, and these are very useful for doing things like minimizing the program window or maximizing it so it takes up the whole screen, or if you want to close down the program, just click the X. Now, in each program window, there are usually a number of controls which lets you control the program. There may be a text box which lets you type a particular selection. There could be a list box which lets you choose from a drop-down list. Or there could be a combo box which lets you either type a particular thing or just choose from the list. And there may be a number of command buttons which lets you do various things just by clicking a certain button. Now, you may have several apps on the screen at one time, and it's very easy to switch from one app to the other. What we need to do, number one, is to just click one way is to just click the window. One way is to just click the window of the app you want, if you can see it. Or you can go down to the taskbar and click the program button for that app. Or you can click the task view button in the taskbar and choose a particular program. And you can use the Alt key, okay? Just press the Alt key, hold it down, and just tap the Tab key to go from one app to the other. One of the great things about Windows is you can see multiple windows at the same time. And there's a nice feature that lets you really do that nicely. It lets you snap a window to either the left side or the right side of the screen. All we need to do is drag the title bar over to the left or right until the mouse pointer hits the right or left edge, and it will snap to that particular side of the screen. In fact, you can also put it up in the corner, so you can have 4 windows open at the same time. I'm going to demonstrate some basic skills in Windows, and if you're not familiar with these, please practice these at home. They're very important that you'll be using them a lot as you use computers, so please just practice them at home so you become very skilled at them. Okay. All right, first thing we want to do is to personalize Windows. Very simple. We're just going to go on our desktop and just right-click any place on the desktop, and we'll choose Personalize. There we go. And a little program comes up, and we can give it a couple of different choices. There we go. We can choose which picture is going to be in the background, or we can change our themes over here, change our fonts, so various things. Now, I'm not going to change anything right now, so I'm just going to go up here and click on the X in the upper right corner to close down this program window. Okay. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do is open up some programs. Now, one of the most important programs you'll probably be using is the File Explorer program. This is the program that lets you manage all the folders and files on your computer. And right down here in the taskbar, usually you'll see this little manila folder button. And if you just click on that, a little screen tip pops up, tells you it's File Explorer. If you click on it, then up pops File Explorer. In the old days, they called that Windows Explorer, but now in Windows 10, they call it File Explorer. Not sure why they make the change, but in any case, arose by any other name. Okay, here we go. And you can see it just shows the various locations over here, and in whatever location you've chosen, it shows some various details of that. Okay, good. We'll talk more about this at the next session. But right now, what we want to do is open up another program. We're going to go down here and open up the control panel. Easiest way to do that is to just tap, click into the search bar there, and we'll just type CO. Okay, and that opens up. There it is right there. I just hit the Enter key on the keyboard, and there it is. There's our control panel. Now, a control panel can look different ways. Okay, you may see it sometimes if we change this view here, go into large icons. It may look like this. Okay, so however it looks, we'll put it back into category. And 2 things you'll want to do here in the control panel. Number 1 is to add a printer. Okay, so if you go here under Hardware and Sound, there's a place called Add a Device, or go to Devices and Printers. Either one of those will let you add a printer. The second thing you want to do is get rid of programs. As we go on in Windows, we add more and more programs, but as we add more and more programs, our Windows system will slow down. So to speed things up a little bit, you may want to get rid of some programs that you're not using anymore. Okay, and you also save a lot of space on your hard drive. So what you do is go here, click on Uninstall a Program, And that'll bring up a list of all the programs that are installed on your computer. And you can see I've got quite a few here. Now, there's none that I want to get rid of, but let's pretend that I'd like to get rid of this Adobe Flash Player. Now, that's a good program. I wouldn't want to do that normally. But if I did want to get rid of it, I could just right-click it, and then choose Uninstall. But again, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to leave it as is. Leave it as is here, okay? And I'm just going to go up here and click on the arrow that takes me back to the original view in the control panel. Click this arrow here, the left, there we go. And I'm back into the original view. Let me change that back into category. There it is. So that's the control panel, a way of controlling many different things on your computer. All right, let's bring up another program. Now, Windows comes with a number of accessory programs. These are great little programs. They're free, and then they can do various things. And to find them, I can go down here, click on the Start button, and here's the Start button. Here's my tiles over here, and here's a list of frequently used programs over here. And down below that is an alphabetical list of all of the programs on my computer. And if I scroll down into the W's, let's see, there we go. There's W's there, okay? And you see there's a folder there for Windows accessories. And if I click on that to open it up, you see all the accessories there, okay? Then there's some that are less useful than others. But there's the Paint program, which is a fairly useful, simple graphics program. And then below down there, go down here to the WordPad. And WordPad is just a simple word processing program. So if I click on that, it'll open up, and you can see that when it opens up, there it is. Okay, it's sort of like a very simple version of Microsoft Word. And it's kind of handy, actually. If you're on a computer that does not have Microsoft Word, you can always use WordPad. It'll do most of the things that most people want to do. Okay, and for example, if I type some text here, I'll just type SOMETXT. There we go. Hit the Enter key. Okay, so you can type things in there. Now, what you want to do is change things sometimes. I'm going to just select the text. Now, I'm just going to click in the word "some" there. You notice there's a blinking vertical line in the middle of the word "some." And if I type some text here, that text will be inserted where that blinky vertical line is. Okay? Now, most people call that the cursor, but also this thing that's moving around the screen right now, that is what they call that. They call that the cursor too. There's two things kind of similar, but two things that have the same name. Well, let's be more specific about that, okay? The thing that moves around when I move the mouse, let's call that the mouse pointer. Okay, that's the mouse pointer. And that vertical line that indicates where text will be inserted, we'll call that the insertion point, okay? So we have mouse pointer and insertion point. Okay, so let's be specific about that. Okay, good. Now I'm going to just select the text. Whenever you do things in Windows, it's usually a two-step process. You select something, well, some people call it highlighting, but you select it and then you change it. Okay, so I'm just going to put my pointer right in front of that. Hold down the mouse button and select it like so. Okay, I've selected the text. Now I want to change it, and I'm going to make use of all these various buttons up here in the ribbon. And you can see there's different controls here. This button right here, this control is for the font. If I click the list arrow there, it gives me a list of all the different fonts. About 250 different fonts are included with Windows. And you can choose whatever particular one you want. Now, in a list like this, it's very long. We have a scroll bar here to help us go down and up and down this list here. I can take what they sometimes call the elevator and bring it up and down. It's actually called the scroll box. And I can take it and bring it up and down this elevator shaft here, the scroll bar. Or I can click above it to go up one screen at a time or down one screen. Also on the keyboard, I could use the down arrow key and the up arrow key or the page up, page down keys to do the same thing. But most of the time, what you want to do is jump immediately to the part you want. And say, for example, I want to change that font to Times New Roman. Well, Times New Roman begins with a T, so all I need to do is just type a T, just hit the T key, and that pops me down to the T's, okay? And I'll just scroll down there, and you can see these are all the T's, and there's Times New Roman right there. I can just click on it, and now my text is in Times New Roman. Now, it's a little small, so I want to change the size. Right next to the font control is the font size control. And again, I'm going to click on it there, and it gives a whole bunch of different font sizes. I'm going to go down here to 28. There it is, 28. Okay, and that's nice and big, pretty good. Okay, so I've chosen again from a list, but you know what? Suppose I wanted to not do 28, I wanted to do 30. All right, and there is no 30 there. Okay, so what can I do? Well, I can just type it in. I could just type in 30, hit the enter key, and the text increases. Now it's 30 points. Okay, now, so this control here was a little special. We could choose from a list, and we can also type things in. This is a combo box. Okay, you can combination of a list box and a text box where you can just type something in. Okay, and now the rest of the buttons up here are for doing various things. For example, if I want to make it bold, I just click on the B button. I want to make it italic, click on that there. It makes it italic, and you can see all these other buttons. And we'll go over those when we get into Microsoft Word. But right now, that gives us some taste of what you can do with the various controls in the window. And most program windows have these controls or some variations of these controls. Okay, let's open up one final app here. Let's go down here and just do a search. We're going to get that Paint program. So I'm just going to click in the search box, click type PA. There it is. Hit the enter key on the keyboard. And sure enough, pops up right. There it goes, finally. Okay. All right, good. So there we go. Now, the Paint program is just a very simple graphics program. I can take my mouse here and just draw a little squiggly line here. There we go. Okay. No great piece of art. Okay, and I can also go in here and create some shapes. Make a little square. I'll just make a nice little square right over here. And I'll change the color, make it a red square. Okay, that's good. Okay, so you can see you can do various things, and it's a nice little program. And now, what we can do now is also change the size of this window. Okay, change the size of this program window. A couple of ways we can do it. Well, number one is if we put my pointer down here at the bottom of the window, I can just the two-way arrow there. I can just take it and I can make it longer, shorter. Okay. And I can also go here and make it a little bit wider or narrower. Okay, I'll make it a little bit wider like so. And if I put my pointer in the bottom right corner, I can also change both things at the same time. Okay, good. Now I can move it. If I put my pointer in the title bar, okay, that's the top part of the window. Put my pointer there, hold down the left mouse button, and now I can move the window around the screen to wherever I want. And if I want to make further changes, I can click the buttons in the upper right corner of the title bar. This is the minimize button. It'll just minimize it down into the taskbar. If I click this button here, it brings it back. Here we go. And if I want to maximize it, fill up the whole screen, I can click on the maximize button. Once I do that, the maximize button changes, and now it's here, it's a restore button. So if I click it now, it restores it back down to the original size. And of course, if I want to close the program, I would click on the X here to close it down. Okay, but I don't want to do that right now. Here we go. So I got the programs. Now I've got 4 programs, and I want to switch from one program to another. Now, if I can see the other program, all I need to do is click it. Now, if I want to switch to, for example, WordPad, all I have to do is put my mouse pointer here, click it, and there it goes. And I've selected that. I want to go back to the Paint program, click here, I'm back in Paint. Okay, so if you can see the programs, that's easy. But let's say you can't see them. Okay, if we go down here in the taskbar, we have buttons. If I want to go back to File Explorer, just click on that. And there's File Explorer. And if I want to go into the control panel, it's right over here. So the buttons in the taskbar, the program buttons in the taskbar also help you go from one to the other. Another way of doing it is the Task View button, this button right over here. If I click on this, it shows me all of the programs that are running right now. And if I want to go, for example, to the WordPad program, all I have to do is click it. Here we go. I'm right there. And that works fine. And if I want to, for example, another way to do it, that's so 3 ways to do it, right? We can click on the window, we can use the program buttons in the taskbar, or we could use the Task View button. The 4th way is to use the Tab key. Okay, so you hold down the Alt key on the keyboard, hold it down, and you just tap the Tab key. Just tap it, and that brings up a list of all the things that are running right now. And I can just click the Tab key again, bring us over to the Paint program, and I'm back in the Paint program. Okay, so there's 4 different ways of going from one app to the other, and you can choose whichever one you want to do. Okay, good. Now, a great thing about it is that great thing about Windows is that you can see multiple windows at the same time. I can see partially windows here, but if I want to see a little better, what I can do is take advantage of this new feature called snapping. If I go back here to WordPad, if I put my pointer in the title bar, okay, put my pointer in the title bar, hold down the left mouse button, I can move it. And if I move it over to the left, watch what happens when the mouse pointer touches the left edge. Look at that. It takes up the whole left half of the screen. And now it shows me, it says, all the other things running, it says, which one do you want to be on the right side? Well, I'm going to choose the Paint program, click on that. Now the Paint program's there, okay? So that's a nice little feature. This snapping, you could snap it to the left side or the right side. Works real nice. Now, how do you get out of this? Okay, I could just go up here, just grab the title bar, and just move it towards the center of the screen, and it goes back to its original size. Same thing here for the WordPad program. Bring it down here like so. Now it's back to its original size. Okay, good. One other thing I want to show you here is if you want to take a picture of the screen. Sometimes an error message will show up and you want to show it to someone. For example, me. Okay, you could take your phone, take a shot of it, but the easiest way is to use one of the tools right on your computer. There's a couple of ways of doing it. One of the simplest ways is to use what's called the snipping tool. If I go down here in the search box, and I type SN as in snip. Okay, there we go. There's our snipping tool right there. And that's a very useful tool, but it's going to be replaced in the next few years by this new tool called Snip and Sketch, which is very similar. So let's use that one instead. Okay, I'll click on Snip and Sketch. So, okay, here it is. Okay, now I want to do a new snip. So I click on the new button. Click on there's two parts here. Click on the left side, click on the new part. And the screen will darken a little bit. And I've got 4 options up at the top here. I can do a rectangular snip. I can do a freeform snip. I can do a whole window as a snip or the whole screen. Okay, and if I change my mind, I can just close it down. I'm going to do a rectangular snip here. So I'm going to put my crosshairs in the upper left corner of where I want to take the photograph. Okay, click up there. Then just hold down the left mouse button and drag it down to the part that I want to take. That's good right there. Just choose that and let go of the left mouse button. And now I've just taken a picture of the screen or part of the screen. And here it is right here. And now in this program, I can now edit it, make some changes, put some annotations on there, okay? But the most important thing is to save it. And this button right up here, this button up here will let me save it. So I'm not going to save it. It's not that important. So I'm just going to close this down. There we go. And then we'll close down the rest of the program. I'll click on this. Okay, I'm not going to save that. Nope. And I'll close down this. I'm not going to save that either. And this here, close down the control panel and File Explorer, and I'm back to where I was. Okay, so those are some basic skills, and I hope you practice them if you're not familiar with them. If you do anything in Windows, you're probably going to be creating a number of files, and you might want, after a certain point, you're going to have to delete some of those files. In our next video, we'll talk about doing exactly that.